Texas anti-abortion laws are now leading to more women having abortions in the second trimester. Now, this is all because of the unintended consequences of the anti-abortion laws passed by Texas back in 2013. So they have made abortion so difficult to get in the state that a number of clinics have shut down. And of the remaining clinics that have remained open, the wait times are so long that in some cases women have to wait till they're in their second trimester in order to get the abortion, which actually makes the abortion a little more complicated. So in some cases, women had to wait nearly a month to be seen. In others, clinics had to turn women away since they had no available appointment slots open. As a result, women are waiting longer to have abortions, resulting in a lot more second trimester abortions. So this case is actually going to go to the Supreme Court. There's one specific portion of that law that was passed in 2013 that states that clinics have to have very specific features, almost like a normal hospital, right? The halls have to be a certain width, the ceilings have to be a certain height, ridiculous restrictions that a lot of clinics can't abide by, so they have to shut down. That portion of the law is actually going to be ruled by the Supreme Court. They're going to decide whether or not it's constitutional. If the Supreme Court upholds the most restrictive provision of HB 2, the requirement that all clinics meet the same building codes as ambulatory surgical centers, so many more clinics will be forced to close, that the number of second trimester abortions will double from 6,600 in 2013 to a projected 12,400 annually.
So Ben and I were talking in the last edition of Old School about Shout Your Abortion, which you and Ben discussed on the show last week. And I decided, it's jarring, there's no question about that, but I decided that I love that, that idea. For people to say, you know what, I'm not going to be embarrassed anymore, and I'm not going to hide from you guys. You know, you moralistic pricks that go around trying to put your values on us. I need to have this abortion. I think it's a medical procedure. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, and I'm going to have it. You're trying to deny me it. Okay, well, I'm going to have it in the second trimester. I'm still allowed to do that. And so then you're going to cry even more. Good, cry about it, okay? But you're trying to deny me my legal rights as an American, and I'm going to fight back. And so, especially in places like Texas and in a lot of the red states now, understand that voting for Republicans have consequences. So in this show, we're enormously nonpartisan. We're progressives. Nobody's confused about that, right? But we're nonpartisan that we take on the Democrats all the time. And criticized Hillary Clinton very thoroughly earlier in today's show, right? But the reality is the Republicans believe one thing and the Democrats believe another thing on some issues. On a lot of issues, they agree corporations should win, right? But on an issue like this, if you vote for a Republican, they're going to try to take away your rights. Now, you might think, good, you know, and some women even think this. Oh, yeah, you should take away my right to decide what I do with my body. That's awesome. Yeah, well, I'm just a silly woman. What would I know, right? You'd make that decision based on your morals, not my morals, not my decision, not my doctor. You make the decision for me. I'm just a simple woman. Now, they couch that in pro-life bullshit. It's not even in the Bible. Look it up, okay? But at least understand what you're voting for, because they're not kidding. It has real consequences. They're going to rip down all these abortion clinics. Yep. They're already doing it. They're making getting abortion really hard, and they're trying to take that right away from you. So if you vote for a Republican in Texas, that is exactly what they will do. That is what they've been doing, and they're going to continue to do it until they try to take away all of your rights in Texas in regards to reproduction.
Right, and they're disingenuous when they say that they're doing all of these different restrictions on what the clinic can be like because they want to keep the women safe. That's not obvious. That's not true at all. Because if they care about the safety of the women, first of all abortion is safe, okay? There are safe procedures, and as long as the doctor is doing it, you're in good hands. However, if you wait until your second trimester, the possibilities of any type of complication increases because you're further along in your pregnancy, okay? So they're already putting the woman's life at risk by doing this. And then on top of it, there are more costs associated with a second trimester abortion. They don't really care about that, but it costs a lot more money. Keep in mind that they have waiting periods, so that they have to go see a doctor, then they have to wait a certain period of time, and then they go back and say, yes, I do want the abortion, please do it. And it's just, the more difficult it is, the more women are going to take matters into their own hands. And the more women are going to try to do it in their own homes. And it's a scary situation because this so-called pro-life law is going to lead to more deaths.
you're not going to raise the kids, man. You're going to, as soon as the kids are born, you're going to spit in their eye and say, oh, yeah, just like Bill O'Reilly said yesterday, there are no hungry children. Literally said there are no hungry children in the country. It's a myth, right? You're not going to do a goddamn thing for them. You don't care about their lives. You don't care about it at all. You just want to control women, and that's the reality of it. So, okay, if you want to vote Republican, go ahead, but these are the consequences. They don't like women having power over their own bodies or any other part of their lives. They try to control them. It doesn't say in the Bible that you shouldn't get an abortion. In fact, in the Bible, God is pro-abortion. Look it up. He says if you think your wife cheated on you, make sure you give her some toxic poison. And if she did cheat on you, she'll have a miscarriage and abort. And that'll be great. I didn't say that. God said that. God said it. Look it up in the Bible, okay? So this isn't about abortion. This isn't about the Bible. It's about them trying to control women. So if you like the idea of people controlling your life and you're a woman, keep voting Republican. You'll love it. They'll control you all day long. You know, you're a masochist, go for it, right? But if you actually want to control your own destiny and you're a woman in this country, you ought to have your head examined if you're voting for a Republican.